Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am excited slash kind of nervous for this video because I did not plan on filming this, but I saw Angelica Nyqvist, I'll make sure to link her channel down below. She did a full face of brands that kicked her off their PR list video, and as soon as I saw the thumbnail, I was like, ooh, I have to watch that. I want to know what's happening. And I was really enjoying the video, and as I was thinking, I was like, oh yeah, this brand took me off their PR list. And I was like, oh yeah, and this brand, and this brand. And I actually just like made a little list on a tag that was sitting on my desk, and I realized that I actually do have enough to also do a full face of brands that have taken me off their PR list, and I just thought it would be a fun video. Before we jump into it, I do want to say that there might be a little bit of tea spilled, but there's not going to be a bunch of negativity coming from me. I don't have anything against these brands. PR lists are just, they come, they go. If there's something I really want to purchase, I'll buy it myself. It's really genuinely not that big of a deal. The best part about being on a PR list to me is not about getting the product for free. It's about the timing and getting the product early and having the ability to talk about it right away. I feel like honestly, that's where the majority of the value lies. Let's just jump on in. So the only thing I did so far was just moisturize and add a little bit of spot concealer. So let's jump into the base. I'm going to start off with Too Faced. I'm going to be using their multi-use sculpting concealer in the shade Cloud today to conceal, and then use the Born This Way multi-use complexion powder in the shade Cloud as my foundation, but I'm going to do the concealer first because it's liquid. Honestly, Too Faced is a brand that like initially they sent me, I think, 2 PR boxes forever ago, like so long ago. I was really excited to be on their PR list just because it was like, this is Too Faced, like it's an iconic brand, like really well known, and like when I was younger I thought Too Faced was so cool, and I did do videos with the things that they sent me, but then I just never received anything again. I never heard from them again, and that was pretty much it. There's not really a bunch of tea here. It wasn't a big deal that I didn't receive anything else from them, and especially now I don't think much of it just because honestly their releases aren't even something that I would purchase myself. I think sometimes their complexion products are nice, which is what I'm using right now and I do genuinely like. But even recently, like I went into Ulta and I was looking at all their holiday collections and nothing spoke to me. I always see reviews and whatnot, and I just never feel the urge to buy any of their products. So honestly, I feel like it's good that they took me off their PR list. Like it feels like we weren't the best fit for each other. Okay, so to apply the powder foundation, I'm gonna go into this Pure brush, which is the next brand I wanted to talk about, Pure, but I honestly don't have any products from them anymore. All I have left is this brush, and then they also sent a concealer brush that's the same type of brush when these were like really popular. So Pure was actually one of the first PR packages that I ever received, and I remember being a little bit like shocked because they sent me an entire foundation line and it had these brushes in there, and it was just like the presentation. I mean, it's just a PR box. Like I feel like we've all seen 1,000 of them now online on social media, but at the time, like it was my first time receiving one, and I was just like, who, like me, like you said this to me. And honestly, I don't love that now. Like a little bit further along, it was like there was a lot of shock in it being the whole line, but now I'm like, if a brand sends me more than the shades that like go for my skin tone, it can be a little frustrating just because, well, I donate as much as possible, I give away as much as possible, but it's just a lot of excess product for me to have to take care of. So I prefer when brands just send the shades that are gonna work for you, especially with complexion products. And I did receive some, I think, liquid shadows. I don't know, I received a few different PR packages from Pure after that, but the only thing I really remember like super strongly is the foundation and the foundation brushes and just that like first package and being swept away. But honestly, I don't even know if it's very much so that like I got taken off the PR list, and more just maybe that they don't really have a big PR list, or that they've just scaled back a lot, because I never see new releases from Pure. Like, when was the last time you heard anyone talk about them? I don't know what they're doing. So yeah, definitely no hard feelings. I don't know what they're doing. I wouldn't expect anything because I don't even think they've had new releases. I don't know. I don't know. I just remembered another brand that took me off their PR list, but I don't have any makeup from them out. I should grab something. Okay, so I found a product from the brand I was talking about, and we will get to that in just a minute when it's time to apply it. But for now, I'm gonna go into some blush. This is the Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten in the shade Tropic Hues, and I was never on the Laura Geller PR list, but I pulled this out specifically because I did receive it from BoxyCharm, and I'm no longer on the Boxy PR list. And I have some thoughts because a lot of these brands I'm pretty neutral about. I'm just like, don't know what happened. I'm not on their PR list anymore. It's fine. But Boxy is one that I specifically like stopped responding to their emails because like it used to be that when I first started receiving PR from them and receiving BoxyCharm each month, they would just send it and that was pretty much it. There was no content requirements. They had an affiliate program, so if someone signed up with my link, I think I made like $5 or something like that, or maybe $3. I can't remember. And it was a good deal. Like I thought it was fun. I liked unboxing BoxyCharm. Like it's a fun video to do. But my issue is that BoxyCharm, or at least the PR company that was handling them, the company that was emailing me, they started requiring that you tell them exactly what content you were going to make. You'd have to like give dates. You'd have to abide by all these rules. It was very much unpaid sponsorship vibes, and I just did not think it was worth it at all. I just don't like when brands do that. I don't know. I was not about it. And also I had a pretty bad, well, I don't know if this would qualify as pretty bad to you, but to me it was uncomfortable PR experience with the company that was working with BoxyCharm because they emailed me asking if I wanted to try a certain brand. It was like some eyebrow brand or something, and I didn't want to, and I didn't respond. And the reason why is because they didn't have a shade that I thought would work for me. And they just went ahead and gave the brand my home address, and the brand sent stuff to me. And I just thought it was really weird and like slightly unethical. Like you shouldn't just be giving out my home address to whatever brand, especially when that's not the company that like we've talked about before and like had discussions on, and you don't represent me, like nothing like that. I don't know. I thought it was really weird. So yeah, I don't do anything with BoxyCharm anymore. It's been a while since I got an email from them, and I don't know if they're still doing the same thing. I would assume that they are because I saw a lot of people stop posting their BoxyCharm monthly videos because of the rules that BoxyCharm was putting out there. So next I'm going to go into some highlighter. This is the Pixi Glowy Gossamer Duo in the shade Delicate Dew. I did purchase this one myself, but I have received a lot of PR from Pixi, and I don't know if this one counts per se, but I just thought I would talk about it for a minute because I am very, very salty. I really like Pixi. I really like their products. I use them all the time. I love this little highlighter duo. I'm just using the like lighter pinky side. I think it's beautiful. And I think they're a cool brand. I like their aesthetic. I like that they're like somewhere between affordable and like still really high quality. My thing is that it's not necessarily that I got taken off the PR list. It's that I have no ability to contact them. I have tried multiple times. I've tried to email them. I've tried to Instagram them, and they have sent all of the PR packages to my old address in Pennsylvania. It's been years since I moved, and for a while my parents still lived there, so they would get the packages and they would bring them back to me, and so I'd still end up with the PR, and I just kept reaching out to the brand like, hey, my address has changed. And my parents moved like maybe like a year, 2 years ago, something like that now at this point. And I still get text messages from FedEx every time they're dropping a Pixi PR box to the old address, and it's just going to who knows who. And I have no way to contact them to get the PR or to receive it, and they're just sending it off to La La Land basically. Brows are kind of boring, so I'm gonna do this off camera and then I'll be right back. All right, so the next brand we're gonna talk about is Juvia's Place. I just went ahead and pulled out my Prep Prime eye primer in the shade 1. I know I already used concealer, but I forgot that I had this and I was gonna talk about Juvia's Place. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this, but I'm gonna shake it really well first because the thing with this eye primer is that it is extremely liquidy. I don't really like it that much, honestly. I should probably just declutter it because I feel like it's kind of messy, and I don't know, I just don't reach for it. So Juvia's Place is another one that I've kind of had like a little bit of a weird interaction with, because the first time I ever got PR from them, they did not reach out to me. They just sent the products to my home address, and I was like, how did you get that? My guess was that they maybe saw one of my videos, they looked up my name in their system of customers, and they sent it to my home address through that, because they looked at where I had previously ordered it from myself, if I had to guess, because I used to be a really big fan of Juvia's Place. And honestly, I don't know if anything happened. They just kind of stopped sending PR, but it was always hit and miss. Like, they would send things and then they wouldn't. Sometimes I'd get a collection, sometimes I wouldn't. And it was really exciting because I did used to love Juvia's Place, but at this point in time, I feel like they've just had a lot of controversy, and there were some things last year that really rubbed me the wrong way, to the point where I pretty much decluttered almost every single Juvia's Place palette that I had, and I really don't use their products anymore. So they're definitely a brand where even if I had the opportunity to be on their PR list again, I would turn it down, because I don't really use their products anymore, and I don't think that we have the same values. But yeah, I did get PR and then I didn't, and I don't know, that's just how it is sometimes. But like I said, my initial PR experience, very weird. Like, I don't know why brands can't just send an email, send a DM. I do have the PO box now, so that option is available, but I don't know, just gives me the creeper vibes. Okay, last minute, I just decided to go a little bit more colorful and not so neutral. The next brand that we're going to be talking about is Glamlite, and I feel like this is a good one to do eyeshadow for, because I have a little bit to say, a little bit more than the other brands, and I feel like this is the only one that I like have some like real emotion about, where I'm like a little bit sad. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Dirty Martini palette today, and I'm gonna start off with this shade right here called Dirty Martini. One of the reasons why I have like a little bit more emotion with Glamlite is because I was kind of there with their brand from the very beginning. Their very first palette they ever launched, I was on the PR list for, and I thought it was really pretty, but they've definitely improved their formula so much from the beginning. And I think it was really cool just to see them like grow and become a brand that's like really well known and do collabs with huge influencers. And I just think it's really cool to have been able to see that entire process. And so actually, I guess I could say I was on their PR list, and then I was off, and then I was back on, and then I was off again. So let's talk about that. In the beginning, I actually requested for them to take me off their PR list, because they had said that they were cruelty-free, but they were selling mink eyelashes, which I'm no longer cruelty-free, so maybe I sound like a hypocrite right now, but I still don't buy mink eyelashes because there's no cruelty-free way to get them, and the minks are like kept in tiny little like cages to collect the hairs, and it's just really sad. And there's so many beautiful vegan eyelashes out there that I just feel like it's unnecessary. So I asked to be removed from their PR list because I didn't think that they were actually cruelty free, and I didn't think it was cool. And I had a really great conversation with the owner, and I feel like we left it on good terms. And then whenever they removed their mink eyelashes, they stopped selling them. I had another really great conversation with the owner, and she thanked me for helping them become cruelty free, and, you know, like thanked me for my feedback and for speaking up, and was just so kind. And like, I don't know, I thought it was a really good interaction, just very positive. And they added me back on their PR list. They were cruelty free. Everything was good. The thing is just that I feel like I was like a little bit too opinionated with their products, which is fine because there's no way that I'm not going to be opinionated. So I'm going to take this shade right here called Dry Vermouth. I don't know how to say that. I would purchase their palettes myself, and there was ones that I absolutely loved, like ones I would rave about all the time. I loved the Cake palette so much. It was my favorite rainbow palette for a really long time. But I felt like sometimes their color stories were like not exactly matching the theme, and like I'm gonna say that, like I'm gonna speak up and tell you how I feel, and if I'm disappointed, whatever, like just feel like that's what I would do whether I was on the PR list or not. And eventually I realized that like I wasn't receiving any more PR from Glamlight, and I was kind of sad about it just because like I was always speaking about their products. I still have an affiliate code with them. I still buy their products. I still talk about them myself. I still love them. And so I did reach back out to the owner, because I'm not afraid to reach out to someone and just ask and talk. And there's been multiple times where I'll reach out to a brand and say like, hey, am I still on the PR list? Like, were you sending this? Just because I'm going to purchase it myself if not, because I don't want to end up with doubles. I felt comfortable talking to her just because we've had multiple conversations throughout the years, and it wasn't just like me reaching out to someone that I never talked to before. And she did say that they just thought that I didn't like the products, and that's why they took me off the PR. And like I said, like I felt like I was just being constructive criticism, but it is kind of cool actually to know specifically why they took me off PR, because a lot of times, like even Angie's video, like she was kind of saying, oh, well, sometimes they do this, sometimes they do that. Like you like think maybe this is why I was taken off, where it's just a guess. But for Glamlight, I know exactly why. Honestly, I have no regrets, because, you know, I'm going to be true to myself no matter what. But it's just kind of cool to know the specifics. And I did tell her, I was like, no, I really love your products. Like I just try to like give my honest opinion. Like I think what you're doing is really awesome, and I love the formulas. They've improved so much. Like I think you have done such an amazing job growing Glamlight. I can't remember how much in detail I went, but I really do have love for the brand regardless. So I'm gonna go into this shade right here called On the Rocks for my lid, because it looks so pretty. So at the end of the conversation, the owner did say that they were going to add me back on the PR list, and that they had like a really exciting collection coming out soon that they would send. And then I just never received anything, and I didn't hear anything from them. So that is pretty much the whole story, which is fine. Like if there's something from them that I want, I will purchase it myself. It's not a big deal. Like I purchased this one myself because I was all about the green. I thought it was so pretty. I'm just gonna add a little bit of like a highlighter shade on my inner corner. I think it's kind of funny to me that like a lot of times I'll get feedback that either I am just too negative, that I don't like anything, I always have something to say about everything, or I'll get feedback that I'm just too positive, I love everything, like I just have no standards. Like I have gotten both sides of the spectrum from like critics, whatever, commenters, so much. And it's just like, I just don't understand. Like, am I this or am I that? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm just being honest. I'm just being myself. I'm just saying what I feel, what I think. I don't even feel like I really have a filter when it comes to like my reviews or like the things that I say about products, because I feel like if I love it, I love it. If I don't, I don't. And I'm just trying to help you guys out as much as possible. So it is kind of weird in that aspect, but I don't have any mascaras that I've been kicked off the PR list. So just throwing something on real quick, and I'll be right back for the final story, the final brand. Okay, so lastly, I grabbed my Sigma Renew Lip Oil, and this one is the shade All Heart, which I think is my favorite. It's just a really beautiful kind of mauve shade. It's a beautiful tinted lip oil, like just looks so glossy. I love it. So Sigma is another brand that I used to receive PR from, and I received PR pretty consistently, and I would receive most of their collections. And unfortunately, I don't anymore. And I really, really love Sigma. So that's why I'm saying unfortunately. But again, like I said before, if I want to buy something, I'll buy it. But I just love their brushes so much that when I would get a PR collection from them and it would have brushes and repeats and different like styles, it would make me really happy because I can't justify purchasing any more brushes myself. But if I received them already, then you know I have them, and I have my brush in like little container here, and I've got 2 full like giant squares of Sigma brushes because they are my favorites. Like I've talked about them so many times and how durable they are. And like my first Sigma brushes I bought when I was literally in high school, and I'm still using them. They're still going strong. I even had a brush that broke once, and Sigma did keep through to their warranty and they replaced it. So I really, really love Sigma. Nothing but good things to say about their quality, and I really love their makeup as well. The palette I was thinking about using originally was the Dream palette because I love this one too. It's so cute. And with Sigma, I really don't know what happened. I stopped receiving products like right before posting inconsistently, so I don't really feel like I can blame it on that. And I would like do dedicated videos to most of the things that they sent me. But I don't know, I guess maybe it just wasn't getting the views. Maybe they just weren't seeing the like return on investment. I don't know. I did reach out to them and I was like, hey, were you sending this in PR? I can't remember which palette it was, just because like I said, I like to check in, and they kind of responded back with like a very generic email that they don't send every PR box to every single person, but I have not received any PR from them since. So yeah, that's where it is, but I still absolutely love their products. I have their little Cinderella palette actually in my background because I love the aesthetic of that. And yeah, there's only one other brand that I thought I could mention, but this one was kind of funny because I thought that they kicked me off their PR list. It was Sydney Grace, and this one broke my heart. It was like a knife through my heart because I love Sydney Grace so much. I'm always talking about their eyeshadow palettes. Their formula is top tier. If you are a neutral lover and you want indie makeup, Sydney Grace is like the one I'm gonna recommend to you. I think I messaged them around the time that the Tentalia palettes came out, and I was like, hey y'all, wasn't sure if you're sending these in PR, just let me know if you are. And they never got back to me, so I just went ahead and purchased all 3 of the palettes myself. I love them. And then I didn't hear from them, I want to say, for several months. They did do like releases and sent some PR out. I didn't get anything. It was fine because I purchased things myself. The coffee break palette, I think it was, I went ahead and purchased myself, and I think there was one more that I grabbed at the same time. And then just out of nowhere one day they messaged me and they were like, oh my gosh, we're sorry, we didn't see your messages. You're still on the PR list. Let's get your information updated. And everything was all good. But it did feel slightly dramatic for a second, but it's fine. I know brands are not your friends, but I feel like there's some brands, especially indie brands, that I'm so ride or die for, that their packages definitely mean more to me than big brands. I've definitely noticed the brands that have continued to send me PR, even though I've been a little bit inconsistent and I'm just getting back into like my regular filming routine. The first one that's in my head is Blend Bunny, and I think that's awesome. I love them so much, and I actually have their new release literally right here or right beside me, so I'm gonna film with that next and get a video up soon because it is beautiful. But yeah, that is everything for this video. I hope no one took it too seriously. Oh wait, let me take my hair down because it's actually kind of cute today. I got one of those like curlers from TikTok, and I've tried so many times. Like I've slept with it 4 times now, and this is the first time that I feel like my hair actually got cute curls from it. They're not even curls necessarily. They're just like little waves. Like, how cute is that? Before you go, I just have to show you guys my cats. Look how cute they look right now in their little castle. They're just adorable. All right, so that is everything. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.